I am so excited for the UFC White House card, otherwise known as UFC Freedom 250. Who the fuck is calling it that? Nice one, Dana. Corny ass name. And I can't think of a better way to kick off the White House card than to have a Brazilian / Mexican, whatever Diego Lopes is, facing off against Charlie Kirk's best friend of Steve Garcia. And just a quick rundown on these guys, if you don't really know who they are. Diego Lopes, ultimate blockhead. Everybody knows his iconic walkout song, La Chona. That gets all T.O.s and Tias fucking fired up. He's got insane power, insane chin, great submission game. Everybody loves him. He's got a massive fan base. You're going to see tons of edits of this guy on TikTok. He's a TikTok kind of guy. Everybody knows who this dude is. Now, on the other hand, you got Steve Garcia. You're not really going to see many edits of Steve Garcia on the internet. You know, I'll repost the occasional ones of the Mean Machine, but he doesn't have a massive fan base. He had about 21 friends. Then Charlie Kirk got whacked, and now he's got 20. And I'm one of them. The rest are like some dudes on TikTok, ultra conservatives, and then like the other 15 are citizens of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is also a blockhead, though. He's going to run through guys. Kind of looks like a random creative fighter who's just a blockhead, like at a quick glance, that's what you'd think of him. Also, I'll just point out this side point. You know, when Trump comes out and sees these guys walking out, he's going to be like this. Cash Patel, I thought we got rid of these guys. Garcia and Lopez, we can't have those guys here. No Latinos in America anymore. Ice, you got to get these guys out of here. La Chona, more like no Chona. Get these Latinos out of here. He's going to be so thrown off by Lopez and Garcia. I don't even think he thinks they exist in America anymore. But anyway, back to the breakdown. Diego Lopes, he's kind of like a hook merchant, throwing big, meaty hooks, has sick BJJ, no real takedown game, but he has been working on his offensive wrestling at Oklahoma State. Again, insane chin, has cardio, can land uppercuts, bang calf kicks, and when he gets you down, he does have vicious ground and pound. Usually he'll get you down from like the fucking body lock. He's also very proven at the top level. He's fought a lot of big names in the featherweight division. The fucking Dan Iges of the world, the John Silvas, the Pat Sabatini. That win aged well. Pat Sabatini's a fucking terrorist, by the way. Beat Brian Ortega, fought Volk twice. I won't comment on if he won those fights. You all know he got his ass kicked. And he also debuted against Movzar. So he's fought a lot of legit guys. But Garcia, on the other hand, hasn't really had that, you know, pedigree at the top level. You know, he's a long, lanky southpaw, looks freakishly built. Like, just odd build from this guy. Kind of a little Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz-esque when you kind of just look at him. Just an odd build. Fights behind his jab pretty well. You know, has nice front kicks. Will kind of throw some spinning kicks in there every now and then. Has really nice straight punches and body punches that are good to use against a guy like Diego Lopes, who's going to have his fucking hands up. Has like a decent chin. You'll see some people on the internet say his chin's shit, but he's only been KO'd once. I know he's been kind of wobbled by some randoms, but I would still say it's decent. He will just run through guys. He's on like a 7-fight win streak, and 6 of those are by knockout. Again, he is largely unproven at the top level, hasn't fought the same level of competition that Diego Lopes has. Ran through David Onama. I'm fucking shit. I don't really know where the fuck I'm ranked. That was my shitty David Onama impression. Beat the corpse out of Calvin Kattar, who really was never the same after the Holloway fight. Injuries kind of caught up to him. Dropped Calvin Kattar pretty badly. And then murdered Melchizedek Costa. That win aged very well from. That was from like 2 years ago. So that was a good win for Steve Garcia. The thing with these guys is both pretty bad defensively and hittable. Like, Diego Lopes, if you hit this guy with any lateral movement whatsoever, he fucking geeks out. He gets lost. He kind of gets like confused like Junior Soprano did in like season 5 of The Sopranos, where he's like struggling with Alzheimer's and he gets fucking lost in North Jersey looking for Johnny Soprano. Doesn't know where the fuck he is. And I'm looking for fucking blockheads. Where the fuck is Volkanovski? Lateral movement shit. Oh, that was kind of Diego Lopes as Junior Soprano talking about Volk moving left to right and right to left on him, and Diego Lopes couldn't figure that out. But if I will say this, if Diego Lopes wants to guarantee himself a win in this fight, and I'm not saying that if he doesn't do this, he can't win, by the way. He should just fully lean into his grappling, because he does have sick BJJ. He can land body lock takedowns kind of when he drops. Fuck! He can land body lock takedowns on you, or when he drops you. Kind of saw this against Ortega, man. People forget he kind of jumped on the back of Brian Ortega. Man, he had Brian Ortega's back for a second. The one thing that does worry me, though, like, he does obviously have sick ground and pound, but a lot of times when he has kind of won a grappling exchange and got on top of guys, like dudes like Volk, Brian Ortega, Dan Ige, they were all able to kind of you know, weather the storm, reverse position on him, and not get finished on the ground. He has, again, as I mentioned earlier, working on that offensive wrestling more at Oklahoma State. So maybe we see him dig into that bag of fucking tricks. Who knows? I hope Diego Lopes shows a little bit more wrestling in this fight, because it will make it much easier to win. Garcia, like, Steve Garcia has grappling, but it's fairly unproven for the most part. Like, we saw Milkas Acosta land takedowns on him from the body lock and I think the single leg. But if Steve Garcia reverses position on you, you will fucking die. He made Milkas Acosta look like a fucking pinata, spilling blood everywhere. It was absolutely nasty. And he also does have fairly good scramble ability. So I don't think he's terrible defensively, but it's also like we haven't seen a ton of it, so I don't really know what to make of it. And I'd say Diego Lopes has a massive grappling advantage in this one. And I just want to say, because I don't think I've said this before, I'm picking Diego Lopes to win this fight. He has like randomly gotten slightly more patient, at least in his last two fights against John Silva and Volk. But the real reason why I'm picking him in this one is, like, if you're gonna mostly stay on the feet with Diego Lopes and try and get into a bar fight with him, he's gonna fucking kill you. He will take his head off. You cannot beat this guy in a firefight or bar fight. He's got the granite chin, man. I mean, Francis Ngannou could land an uppercut on this guy and he'd eat it like nothing. That's some shit Joe Rogan would say. But, like, he forced John Silva into a brawl. When if John Silva probably stayed patient in that fight, he would have won. He forces John Silva into a brawl, and then he makes him look like an impulse grenade after the fight. I don't really care that Diego Lopes is the most technical striker or most technical anything. If you're in a bar fight with this guy, you will fucking die. I do worry slightly that he can kind of struggle with kind of the length and just weird build of Steve Garcia, and Steve Garcia also being a southpaw. We kind of saw when Ortega switched stances in that fight for Lopes. It kind of minimized the damage that Diego could find against him, and I could see Steve Garcia getting looks, you know, in the southpaw stance and being able to land on Diego Lopes. Obviously, like, Brian Ortega's not really that good on the feet, so him in southpaw, he's not really going to do shit to Diego Lopes. Garcia has the power to wobble Diego Lopes. Again, it wouldn't shock me if Steve Garcia won this. I give him like a 30% chance. He's a freak. He's on a 7-fight win streak again with 6 finishes. And again, he's built like an alien. I do worry that the first time Diego Lopes does that stupid, like, neck tick, and it's not really stupid, I apologize, Diego, if you're seeing this, that Steve Garcia will randomly become like a 99 overall and just slime out Diego, and he goes, "They fucking killed Charlie Kirk, I'm so fucking pissed right now." Steve Garcia could just lock in and go Super Saiyan and just knock out Diego Lopes that way. Also, Steve Garcia, he might have sacrificed Charlie for a win, so that's kind of in play here. That's like an outside force that we at least have to consider in this fight. If Diego Lopes wins, there's only one right answer here. We're getting the trilogy against Volk. Dana said so. Shut the fuck up and watch the fights. We all want to see Diego Lopes get the trilogy. Volk clearly didn't beat Diego Lopes' ass enough, so we need a trilogy to happen. We need to see Volk beat up Diego for a third time. On a serious note, if Diego Lopes wins, I guess give him Yair. I guess that kind of makes sense, because he's going to need to go on like an 8-fight win streak before I'm seeing this guy in the title picture. Or he just moves up to 155. I think that's also a legitimate option. I know this was kind of sprung on him, so he's like, oh shit, I guess I'll stay at 145 and fight Steve Garcia. But I don't think a move up to 155 would be that bad, considering he's locked out of a title picture. And if Steve Garcia wins, he might get a total of 100 new fans. 100 people might like this guy. Maybe he gets 2 TikTok edits about him, and he kind of puts himself into the title picture, which is kind of crazy to say. I've always liked Steve Garcia, but just thinking of him is like, oh shit, he's one more win away from fighting for the belt. It's kind of crazy. Either way, somebody's gonna die in this fight. It's gonna be great. I think Diego Lopes gets this done by like round 2 or round 3 TKO. I think he just has the better chin than Steve Garcia. He's more proven on the big stage. He'll force you into a bar fight and he'll win. Obviously, the straight punches and the kicks, the front kicks of Steve Garcia do worry me slightly against Diego Lopes, because he's there to be hit. And Steve Garcia hits like a fucking Mack truck. So he can knock out Diego Lopes, but I'm going to go with Diego Lopes in this one by round 2 or round 3 TKO. I think it's going to be the best fight on the card easily. Trump's going to be up there. This is Dana. We need more. Maybe we need to abolish ice. We can bring back the more Lopez's and the Garcias if they're going to fight this way. I need more Diego Lopes and Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia's he's got Garcia in his last name. That doesn't really make any sense, Dana. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm just really excited for this one. I'm kind of reiterating points here at the end of the video. Either way, if you're new here, remember to like, comment, subscribe. And we are all fired up for Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. Whoever fucking wins, give him fucking Volk. They're going to knock him out.